kind of mid-morning there, we saw that Mexico kind of took a knee and said that they will, I think they sent like 10,000 of their military troops to our border to help with that. And Trump said, okay, we'll pause it for 1 month to, continue to negotiate, right? Canada sees that. And it looks like right at the end of the day, I think it was right after a market close, we saw kind of the same thing. As you saw SPY close here around 598 and end up hitting like 602 there after hours. So far, though, it's just kind of come back down to where things closed yesterday. So that move's kind of like negated. But I'm not really sure how I'd like to trade. So, I mean, we do have a couple earnings this week. Let me make sure I go over those again with you guys in case anyone's missed it. So today we have PayPal and Spotify this morning. We also have Pfizer this morning. None that are that crazy. That's very true. Yeah, China's implemented tariffs on us. So I do think that's a reason why things have come down here pre-market. After hours yesterday, I'm seeing like Nvidia 118. A lot of things are actually ended up going up. So I think that, I think we can all agree China's going to be the hardest one to kind of get to fold. So if that does happen, and I don't think it's going to be like today or tomorrow, maybe by the end of the week, maybe end of next week, or maybe not at all, right? If that does happen, though, we need to be on the lookout for that. If China does kind of fold, then I think all of these, especially things like Nvidia, are going to rebound like crazy. Until then, though, I think that's why Nvidia stalled out so much, because of China. But yeah, Farouk, I can agree with that. I feel like they probably won't fold, at least anytime soon. So, but let's get back to the earnings here. So we had Spotify, Pfizer, PayPal this morning, but after the close today, we have Google and AMD. We also have Snapchat, Chipotle, InPhase. So I mean, those are okay. Tomorrow we have Uber and Disney pre-market, so we need to be paying attention to those. And we also have ARM, QCOM, MSTR, Ford. There's kind of some interesting names there. But the two that I'm also, let's talk about PLTR, guys. Who's holding some PLTR still? Finally above 100. Look at this. Y'all got to be pretty happy. Whoever's holding PLTR bags. Yeah, AMD is tonight. Two PLTR leaves. That's cool. Well, good. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. To me, I'm going to be trading PLTR. I mean, it's just like way up here. So I don't know how aggressive I'd like to be on that. But I will get into my two trade ideas. So also we have let's see, I feel like there's one other thing that I'm missing here. Let me check out. Let's see, today's Tuesday, so tomorrow. I thought there was some news here that I want to talk about. Guess not. All right, we do have Jolts today at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then factory orders. Jolts will move the market a little bit. So let's see. I think that actually already came out here, so things should be fine. Okay, so the two ideas that I'm looking at for today, guys, is going to be, so obviously Meta and Amazon stood out yesterday with the tariff news, right? A lot of their stuff's digital. I mean, obviously Amazon has products, but most of their business is digital. So we do have somewhat of a downtrend here on this. We're up, around 700, these all-time highs. So I don't know exactly I want to trade this, right? Because the all-time highs are actually going to be 710 and 79 cents. All right. Let me mark this off. So basically just going to be looking for momentum, right? I think that if we didn't have that China news this morning, that things would still be up here, and then we might be able to get a lot of action off the open. But since China came in and threw tariffs on us, things are a little bit different now. So I'm honestly just gonna kind of be looking for some sort of scalps on with the opening momentum. If I can see this kind of, maybe come back under 700 here right off the open, quickly get regained, I may just be looking for a pre-market high kind of break. Playing probably the 710 calls. I mean, I'm sure the IV is still up on a lot of things considering the volatility we've been seeing. But I think 710 calls, 715s could even work. I mean, it's it's Tuesday, so we're not really going to be affected by theta too much. So I would like to pay attention to Meta here. So Amazon. The only thing I'm a little iffy on with Amazon is we have earnings on the 6th, which is in 2 days here, so on Thursday. How is that not on this earnings calendar? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, okay, it's hiding from me. Yeah, so Amazon, we have earnings this week, so that's why I'm a little bit iffy on that, even though I love the way this is set up. We have a pretty nice downtrend here. It's pretty much the same idea as Meta. I'd be looking for like a 240 break and looking for an all-time high kind of move there. Amazon shouldn't be crazy expensive, even though they have earnings this week. So I'm not totally opposed to trading it. But I'm just gonna have to watch that off the open and see where those contracts are. But I don't know. There's still definitely a chance there. It's one of those rare occasions where I will actually trade one of these with earnings the same week. I mean, honestly, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, you could see a little bit of a run up on Amazon ahead of its earnings on Thursday night. Meta 710. Yeah, so I was looking at the Meta like 710, 715, 720 calls. Enigma. Percent. What about Tesla? Yeah, so I mean Tesla, I don't know. I mean, they got hit pretty hard yesterday. Elon's been doing some crazy stuff lately, so I mean, I don't know if that's affecting Tesla directly, but just something to pay attention to. I don't really have any interest in trading Tesla when it's in a range like this. I mean, just kind of look how like sporadic and choppy it is right here between like 380, 400, 410. I just think that there's not a lot of opportunity there. I think that there's a lot of opportunity to get chopped up and lose money. So until Tesla can kind of break this massive downtrend here, and start moving up 440. I don't know why I can't zoom in. Start breaking up around like 430, 440, 450. I'm not really going to be interested in trading it unless we start breaking down on some sort of negative news. To me, there's no reason to lose money in this crazy choppy zone here. If you don't have to, right? There's better trades elsewhere. How about SPY? Yeah, I mean, to me, there's not a whole lot to talk about with SPY. I mean, I think a lot of our trades are going to be market calls, meaning wherever the direction of the market's going, a lot of our stocks are going to go. With how much news is kind of around us right now, these tariffs and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, we definitely bounced right off this uptrend on SPY, which was nice. But again, we're right in the middle of a range, 595 to 600. I mean, we're right in the middle of this. Above 600, things get a little bit better, but not until 605, 610 can things really, to me, like from a technical standpoint, things can't really get released and let go for some solid moves until then. So, in the grand scheme of things, guys, regardless of what I trade today, it's going to be smaller size. To me, there's nothing A plus. I mean, I love these all-time high breaks. I mean, these are some of the best trades that I take, and I'm really good at them. But considering where the market is and considering what's going on around the market environment, there's an added amount of risk here because, I mean, yesterday market was pretty weak. And in a split second, we had that Mexico tariff news, and look what happened, right? So if I'm going to downside trade and this happens, I mean, you could get absolutely blown up here if you're not careful. So why would I be trying to go for these big home run trades, even though the setups are good? But considering that there's just that added amount of risk, there's no reason to do it. I mean, if you got caught in this is a $10 move almost on SPY and not that long. That would have crushed a lot of people. So let's just be smart. I rather miss trades today than force them and lose. All right. That's just kind of going to be the theme of maybe even the rest of the week here until some things calm down. One other thing that I want to talk about is, I was long some NVIDIA calls last week. I'm out of the position now, but if I can pick these up under 115, maybe buy some, some more of those February 28, maybe even go March, 125, 130 calls. I do think that that could be worthwhile, to be honest with you. Everyone wanted to buy Nvidia a couple months ago. It's been beat down on some of this news recently, but AI is not going anywhere, and everyone wants Nvidia chips for AI. So even if we can catch a $10 move on that, would be pretty solid. What contract? Yeah, me too, Gio. So again, I'll be watching Meta here the closest. I'm probably going to go with. Let's see here. I don't want these to be like crazy expensive, but the 710s, 600. Open interest is okay on those. I think 720s guys can work just as fine. I'm probably gonna go 710 calls on these. But again, be kind of on your toes here because I may switch. Oh wow, this is popping here with imbalances this morning. All right, so we got about two minutes left. Where's Amazon? One of y'all said that popped as well. Let me pull it up. Yeah, Amazon popped a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Amazon to me looks good. I kind of hate that they have earnings this week. So Meta 710 calls, I'll have those up, but I'm also gonna have Amazon probably. I don't know. I don't really want to go 245s, but that's probably what I'm going to do here. I'm also going to have the Amazon 245 calls loaded up. We got about 10,000 open interest on those. The 240s look great as well. But, ideally I can get in before 240, but this thing may just rip right off the open here. So my entry, guys, is going to be about right here at the 705, though, if I can get it. If the market opens as per usual, and it goes a straight green candle, I'm not going to chase it. I don't care. I'll find another entry later, or I'll just miss the trade. There's no reason for me to chase that opening candle. Yesterday's high, I want to mark this out as well, 704. So I want to pay attention to that. And let me make sure there's not any levels up here. So then 710 and 79 cents is going to be that all-time high. So if we can just get a little strength here off the up, we got about 45 seconds. So just be ready. Yeah, I'm going 710s on Meta, Wyatt. You may want to go 720s. It's a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I got Meta 710s. No PLTR today. I mean, I'll watch that on the side, but I don't want to trade that in the first few minutes. Again, guys, I need to see some sort of pullback here off the open. If I don't get that, I can't take this trade. Let's watch Amazon on the side as well. 15 seconds here. Five seconds. Got a little pullback. Even if this just goes red to green right off the bat, I don't think I'm going to chase it. Would like to see it come down and ideally test 700. It's a nice little dip right there. My screen is lagging, man. I don't know what's going on. I may even want to come in and take a starter on this dip here at 700. About 650, 660 a contract there. I'm going to have to watch the bid and the ask here. My chart's way too laggy. I'm going to have to do this like the old school way. I'm going to check out the wall. I got a little wall, 705. Kind of retesting 700 here. That's good. Even if this breaks under, I want to see them reclaim it. That was kind of the whole, well, just no chart, JWAG, just watching the bid and the ask. Before computers, that's kind of how they had to do it. So this is good. This is the pullback that I wanted, right? We're seeing the market bounce pretty good here. I would like to see Meta get bought up above 700 pretty fast. If I can see that, I'll probably take a small entry on a buy up there. Part of me wants to take an early entry here, a starter on this drop, but this could easily just fall right through 695 and the trade's done. So we'd be just losing money that we don't need to lose there. I'm probably going to be looking to get in on a kind of an opening range break here on the 702, 703 area. But pretty much looking for just buying pressure here back above 700. If I can get that, I'll take a position, kind of a half size position, add the rest around that 705 pre-market high. If we can get an opening range break here, guys, it'd be pretty solid. Nice, nice. I like that bounce there. That's what I want to see. I want to see this get back above 700 there. About 10 cents off on the ask. Remember, this is like a smaller position trade regardless, right? This isn't something I'm trying to go in super heavy. Market's flying here. We got NQ and SPY ripping. I'd like to see Meta start going here. I'm waiting to see like 702. Not going to buy blindly if we break 700 because this could just kind of break and retest here and roll back over. Got to get above 700. I want to see a kind of a momentum shift here over 701 through that VWAP there. If we see that, we see volume pour into this, you got to be ready to enter that right before that high of the day. Then look for a 705 break. Start to push here. Ideally, at the very least, want to see this candle close above 700. Volume's pretty low on this candle so far. We're 30 seconds in. Nice. So far, it's looking pretty good. All right, I'm taking a starter position here. Got to see this hold above 700. If we close back under 700 at all, I'll be out of the trade. Very tight stop. Can always get back in this, but I think if we can get an opening range break here, see a move through 704, then 705, it should be pretty good. I got a 660 fill on that. Got to see volume and momentum here. Market's still pushing. I think if we see a break of 702.50, this is going to start kind of squeezing here. Same week expiration. I like to see it hold above 700 like that and VWAP. SPY and NQ are still trying to make highs a day. Up nicely here. I somehow got a great fill on that. Kind of lagging a little more than I would like, guys. If we see the overall market totally roll back over, we could just cut this quickly. It's moving a little slow here. Green to red candle. I'm still in just a very small starter position, so I'm going to give it a second. All right, I'm out. Look to re-enter this. See that? See how the market just had a little red candle there? And it just totally rolled right back over. If this consolidates here for the first 10 or 15 minutes, I think that's totally fine as well. We do kind of have like a downtrend now. As long as we don't break low of the day, I think there's still a trade here for sure. I just wanted to be really tight with that so we're not risking much at all. Market flipping back up to high of the day. Let's see if this candle can go red to green back through 700. That would be huge. I still think there's a good trade here. Netflix ripped pretty nicely. Where's Amazon? Amazon's stuck as well. It's kind of weird. The two strongest stocks yesterday are just kind of going flat here off the open. Let's see. Google, kind of the same thing here. NVIDIA, look at this. NVIDIA, which was actually one of the worst stocks yesterday, is the strongest. I'm sure PLTR is doing pretty good, yeah. Don't want to see this break under 695. If that happens, then that happens. But that'll probably ruin the trade for today. It's where you want to see volume coming in, some pretty decent bottom side wicks. Yeah, SPY's a little choppy at its high of the day, but I mean, regardless, it's not that slow. So I don't really know what's going on. I And my charts just seem super slow as well. This is a weird morning. I still like this, guys. I mean, if we can bounce here, if we can kind of double bottom and bounce here and break this downtrend, I still think there's a move 705 plus. I mean, this could go quickly to 710. So taking a stop loss on a dollar and a half move against you is like perfect. I think because we could see $5 plus on this easily. It's got to hold 695 here. We're seeing new high on NQ. SPY's pushing for a new high as well. Meta's got to hold here. Really surprised at how slow this is. It's honestly kind of making me want to move on. To me, for a setup like this should have been going. Volume's obviously going to be the biggest factor on this trade, so we can just kind of sit back and wait for this to happen here. There's another way to look at this. I mean, kind of buying down in here and using 695 as a stop could work, but then you're just kind of throwing random trades out there. I'm just going to wait for this downtrend break and kind of wait for that high a day. If I can see some volume, get in that. I think we can quickly go 704, break 705, and that's where we can kind of get a little bit of a squeeze. I do think 710 can happen, but I'm definitely going to scale out before that. I'm seeing NQ and SPY really get moving here, making highs a day. Meta's not going anywhere, so this needs to pick up some speed here. I'm going to move on. NVIDIA 119. That thing just went straight up. Watch how Meta reacts to the overall market, seeing SPY and NQ, right? Huge green candles there on futures. This didn't really go anywhere. If it's affected by this red candle, then to me, this is just not acting right. I mean, look at futures here. We got to see above 700, like on this candle or the next. There you go. It's starting to recover now. Yeah, futures are flying. Netflix just broke 1,000. So the most random stocks are moving right now. NVIDIA, which has done nothing, and Netflix, which typically doesn't do anything either, is ripping right now. Are we seeing any news on Netflix? I don't think Spotify news would affect it. That's crazy. Look at Meta struggling. I think this is done. This looks terrible. One contract on Netflix did that for you? Jeez. If we break 695, I think, yeah, this is done. Wow, let's move on. This is kind of crazy. Look, I mean, Amazon and Meta, guys, are by far the strongest names. And look how Amazon's moving this morning compared to the market. Then obviously we look at something like NVIDIA, which is just absolutely cooking here. So this is not at all what I expected. Man, Netflix. I mean, this has volume too. If you see over 50,000 volume on Netflix 1 minute candles, that's how you know that it's moving. But I don't see any sort of catalyst. Man, I don't want to trade Netflix ever unless there's a catalyst with it. That's the only problem I see. Until Meta changes my mind, I'm moving on from that. Let's see. Tesla above 387.40. Hmm. You think AMD will move? Yeah, I mean, AMD is definitely going to affect NVIDIA for sure. But what am I using to watch this? This is Think or Swim. Neo Luigi. I know, Zuma. That literally just caught me so off guard. I mean, this opened at 985, broke 990. Okay, consolidated, and then in one candle, I just typed in Zuma as a ticker. That's funny. Look at this. In one candle, this goes from 995 straight through 1,000 and rejected. So I mean, that would have been hard to catch. But yeah. It's weird for NVIDIA moving up today, trying to see yesterday. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't think anyone could have guessed NVIDIA would do that. But it is what it is. Tesla making new highs here. I don't really want to chase any of these things, especially not Tesla. To me, it's not at a great spot. Guys, I mean, we've seen things kind of consolidate for the first 30 minutes, and then we get the break. If that's what Meta wants to do, it's what Meta wants to do. I thought this looked great this morning. But with how slow it was moving, to me, it was just kind of a red flag. A breakthrough 705, I think, sends this straight to 710. This looks like a great all-time high kind of break here, but yeah, we got news in 18 minutes here. Meta just doesn't look great. Look at Amazon, though. This is just kind of consolidating, kind of wedging up here. If this goes and breaks as high of the day, I think it'll go probably straight for 240. Volume's just the biggest thing here. I mean, Amazon, we have earnings in 2 days, and we're seeing less than 100,000 volume per candle on a $200 stock. That's pretty low to me. Meta's about to break 695. Google's getting up near that all-time high as well. They just have earnings today, right? Yeah, today. AMD and Google, Snapchat, Chipotle today. So I'm not going to trade this regardless, but NVIDIA had a little pullback, got bought straight back up. Meta just nosediving here into 695. So that's over with today, most likely. I was up there pretty nice on Meta for a second, but I had to wait for that high day at least. I just can't believe Netflix just did that out of nowhere. I don't know. Now we just kind of sit back. I'm not going to force anything. Just going to let things come to me now. We do have news here in about 15 minutes, so keep that in mind. But other than that, we're good. No trades yesterday. That wasn't a bad loss at all on Meta. I mean, we gave it like a $2 stop loss. This is why, you got to be small size in a market like this. That's why I wanted to kind of emphasize that this morning. If things were normal, I would have taken that with, not crazy size, but I would have actually, sized up possibly. But, with that right there, I mean, that was like a 2 contract position for me. Who traded the 720s on that? How'd they move? They're up about 15%. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a green trade at one point, but, regardless of the P&L, right, we had to give that. We got everything I wanted, right? We got the pullback off the open. We got the buying pressure back above 700. It held above. It even closed above VWAP on that 4th candle. So if that would have broken that high of the day, I made a move up for 704 and 705, I think that would have been a really, really solid trade. But, sometimes that's just what happens. And now it's done. No problem. What else here? What else? Just back to that stop loss there. When we have a situation like that where we, I kind of wanted to pull back under a level and then regain it. It's pretty simple to just, when you enter above that, for this case, 700, and, that's kind of why I like to say it out loud, is any move under 700, that's kind of going to be my stop loss, right? And when you tell yourself that, it's pretty simple because if it comes under 700, you get out. If it gets back above that, you can re-enter. So your stops are super small. And then once you can, if that trade ends up working out, then, you're golden. Yeah, XRP was great, guys. Did anyone else buy that? I know I don't ever signal crypto. I never even trade it. But 2 nights ago, when that dropped under $2 for like that 10 minutes of time, grabbing that amount of money of it, it was good. Yeah, I'm up pretty good. I bought it under 2 and it's at 266. I don't know what position. I don't have the unrealized. So I'm up about 30%. But on 3 grand, that pays. Been at 205, nice. That's still a good entry as well too. That was just crazy. It was just like lucky timing for me just to kind of sit there and check it. And I saw it just dump. What's your target? I would like to see it get back to 3, and then I'll sell some. But that was, I don't know, it was weird. I was willing to, dump a decent amount of money in that just on a split second notice because it had dropped from $3 to under 2 in one day. That's a huge drop. But yeah, I'm thinking at least, I'll probably trim some up at $3, but I would like to sell a little bit higher, maybe like 320. Jay, what are your predictions for SPY? I don't really have any predictions for SPY. SPY is kind of chopping around. NQ is much stronger, but I don't know. A lot of the movement with SPY, DJan, is going to be based on the news around today. Obviously with all the tariff stuff going on and blah blah blah, SPY's not going to care about technicals. Clearly we saw that yesterday, so I wouldn't be trying to predict SPY at all right now. I'd be just kind of sitting back and trying to take advantage of what's in front of you rather than trying to predict where something's going to go. I wanted to buy Sol. Yeah, everything came down. I didn't really look at Sol's price, but I heard it was back under 200. But you guys know me. I don't really ever pay attention that closely to anything besides Bitcoin. But I don't know. It was just totally random. I got a couple, I saw some tweets and some alerts come up on my phone, XRP breaking 2, and I was like, all right, let's go. And just instantly bought. So, I don't even know how many coins I have of it. It's at 265. How do I see how many coins I have? Maybe I go to... All right, so I have 1,400, literally on the dot, 1,400 XRPs. The commissions, though, and fees on Coinbase is ridiculous. Anyways, enough crypto talk. NQ new high, SPY going for new high here. Meta's trying to reclaim 695. Look, this is what I wanted Meta to do here, and Amazon's doing it. I don't know that I'm comfortable trading Amazon though now. I wanted that in the first 10 minutes. But this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? You see a consolidation for the first 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then you get the break. And this may easily continue 240. I think it's moving a little weird with the low volume, right? Even this breakout candle here isn't very high. So that could probably get pulled back pretty quickly there. But PLTR, PE 424. Let me see. God, PLTR. I remember buying this at $25 a share 5 years ago and then just gave up on it when it went down to the teens. Yeah, Zikos, you remember that. 107, man. Jesus. I don't really know how I would have liked to trade that action there. Maybe try to buy in this pullback on the VWAP, but you bought one at IPO'd Kiwi? Wow. What year was that? Let's go see. Oh, you sold quick? Let's see. This is where I remember it right here. So it IPO down over in 2020. QCOM's moving, okay. Shit. QCOM. There we go. Yeah, moving pretty well. Moving pretty well. So Google's kind of doing the same thing here that Amazon was. So for anyone that does want to watch that, you just kind of draw your lines, see where this goes. Yeah, Amazon would have been good, but how do you time that other than trying to buy right in here? This is still kind of my idea, but I don't know. I don't know that I feel comfortable chasing it right now. Buying up here at the high of the day, to me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think Meta made a little more sense than Amazon, but the trade idea is working. We are starting to break this downtrend here. We do have 240 right here. This high over here is 240 and 29 cents. So this could move. I mean, it's moving right now. Let's see here. What do these contracts look like? 240 to 700. See, the IV is just up a lot, guys. These contracts are going to move kind of clunky. It's not going to be great. Man, I wish I bought some NVIDIA yesterday. Ugh. $9 a share, Kiwi. Wow. That's 1,000% gain. Yeah, that sucks. But there'll be another one. NVIDIA making new highs here. So PLTR had good earnings and their guidance was super strong, apparently. Check out SPY. Yeah, NQ and SPY just rip. That's kind of why. I mean, to me, Amazon's just it's too futures dependent right now. It's not as clear as I would like to see it. So is what it is. Amazon's still moving up here. No rebound on Meta. To me, that's just so weird. I mean, this was so strong yesterday. And now, it's getting no love at all. All right, guys, we're missing some news here, I feel like. What's going on with NVIDIA? Has anything happened differently with China? I don't see anything. The put activity on NVIDIA is higher than calls for the first time in a long time. Nice, Geo. Man, I bet if I held on to those February ones, they'd be fine now. That's crazy. That is crazy. Honestly, I mean, I would have considered trying that. A little bit of a flag here. Not going to chase it right now, though, for sure. Things are just kind of blowing past me this morning. I mean, we got that Netflix was just totally random, just ripping straight to 1,000. Sounds like on Tuesday, restoring maximum pressure in Iran. I don't know that affect NVIDIA, but yeah, not much related to NVIDIA. Okay. I don't know. Markets seem to like that, but I can't find a reason why NVIDIA would be moving the way it's moving right now. Look, regardless of what NVIDIA does in this area, I mean, yeah, I would love to try to pick up some calls down here for a little bit longer term expiration to get it up to this 130 level, there's going to be a pretty solid trade up into this gap above 130 after that deep seek stuff. So regardless, we have something there, but it would kind of make sense to try to find some sort of long position. Meta is starting to move again. Crude liked it. Yeah, Crude did. Yeah, Kiwi, and like it's glad that you noticed that though, because when things aren't clear to you, that's when you need to sit back. Look at Google here, starting to do the same thing Amazon did, right? Sometimes things just take 30 minutes of consolidation before they make their move. As much as this looks good to me and I would like to trade it, they have earnings today. I just, I have to sit back and let that go. Amazon just popped to 240. So the only one I wanted to work today was Meta, really, and the other two did from my trade idea list. Meta's trying to get back up here. I don't know. This really has to do something special for me to take that trade again. Google doesn't look bad, but yeah, I mean, I'd probably try to take this high of the day if there was no earnings today. Amazon broke 240, kind of rejected. Nvidia looks like it just wants to go hang out at 120 and see what happens. Tesla trying to push up for a high of the day. Don't get caught in trying to FOMO some of this stuff, guys, please. I know it's kind of tough to see some things ripping here. The last thing you want to be doing is buying high days. Meta 697 here. So, I mean, it's not too far off, right? For a $700 stock. I mean, this thing could really get going again. It's one of the only ones that look red on the day, actually. Yeah, I mean, my tech watch list over here is completely green and Meta's break even here. So, I don't know. That obviously shows more weakness than strength, but sometimes it has a mind of its own. Quick pullback here on a lot of things. Tesla pulling back, Nvidia pulling back, Apple pulled back, Meta pulled back, Google just unfazed. Let's check out Netflix here. TSM gap fill. Let me look. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I wouldn't call this an A+ trade, but to me, I'd just be looking for like a 205 break and see if you can catch maybe a dollar and a half out of that. I mean, wow, market just ripped. All right, so 10 a.m. news just hit. Google pop, Meta popping, Nvidia popping again. Don't chase this stuff. Don't chase this stuff. This could make things go even higher, though. Let it settle out. Amazon above 240 and starting to make a move. TSM wasn't really affected by that at all. Look at some of these wicks here. That's what likes it. Nice, GL. You're doing good today. Nvidia trying to go for that 120 break. Google and Amazon still looking pretty strong. It's weird, man. Meta was one of the strongest ones yesterday. And it's red, even with positive news in the market. Most everything else is up. Pretty nice. We'll just have to see what happens. Be smart here, though. Look at these big rejections on a lot of this stuff. Is Ace Chase in here? I don't know. I don't really see anything else that's really sticking out to me. I mean, Netflix is kind of pulling back and consolidating here at this $1,000 level, but to me, I would have liked to see some sort of consolidation or pattern before 1,000. I mean, this thing just went kind of straight for it, broke it, and didn't really go a whole lot further. Wall at 120. It's probably decent. Not that crazy, honestly. Oh, there it is. About a quarter million, maybe a little more. Gonna break here though. Yeah, there it goes. This was the wall. I got it right before. I don't think there's any reason to chase that though. I mean, that Nvidia's already had a pretty solid day on what seems to be not much news to it specifically. So Netflix starting to give up VWAP here, pulling back. Google starting to pull back. I'm telling you guys, there's no reason to try to chase highs a day. Yeah, I bet you're happy, Pookie, on this. I was planning to grab some more calls today if we got down there closer to 115, and that's what I get for being greedy. Yeah, no, I think it's a beautiful swing. I think it's a pretty obvious trade, to be honest with you. New high there in Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, for y'all that maybe even thinking about that. When I mean obvious, I mean it just kind of makes sense to be long that. But an easy way to mess that trade up is not buying yourself enough time on options. You know, if you buy yourself 1 week or 2 weeks on this could consolidate for 1 or 2 more weeks. If you buy yourself enough time, right? Exactly. Yeah, you'll be fine. It's funny. I was in the February 28 130 calls too, and I bailed on those a few days ago. But I sold most of that position for really solid green and just held 2 runners. Netflix starting to push back up here. Nvidia just doesn't care. It's just going to do its thing. Tesla pulling back, Google pulling back. Meta's dead in the water. That stock's dead to me today. I don't know. I mean, I guess the actions and Nvidia. Trading any stocks that have earnings today? No, I typically don't like to trade option contracts and stocks with earnings, but Google, AMD, Chipotle, Snapchat, they're all today. No Searski. Anyone else have any questions? We got about 20, 25 minutes left here. Any tickers you want me to go over? This is crazy. Yeah, TK. I mean, it's that eye of the day. I don't think there's any reason not to. When you say stop out, I always think that you're like stopping out red, but you just kind of mean get out or sell. Let's see what NVIDIA does. If it pulls back into 120 and kind of holds it there, I mean, maybe there's another high day scalp. But to me, chasing something that's already made this strong of a move straight up makes no sense, right? You've missed it. You have to accept that. Don't be someone who just FOMOs into it because, you missed the bulk of the move. Look at ASO. I mean, yeah, I could pull up the chart, but I don't know what you want me to tell you on this. Pretty low volume day to day, but it looks like it's back into an area where it's bounced quite a bit. Anywhere from this like 50, 52 to 49 area, 48, 50. This is a spot where, things can get bought up for sure. But I don't really know anything about, it's Academy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kind of thinking like macro here when obviously it's sports and outdoors, right? So I mean, I guess we did just kind of have hunting season, but it looks like this does kind of just have run ups into its earnings, right? So I mean, this last earnings kind of saw run up into it, good earnings ripped, sell back off, and then right before the next earnings, you see it start moving up. So, ideally, this will start making its way back up to like maybe 55 ahead of their earnings, which is going to be on March 20th. So you still got about a month and 15 days. I'm sorry. I got to go back to NVIDIA. This is just insane. I am hurting because I didn't buy those calls. Nice. TNT. Let's see here. What are those contracts at that I had? 580. So they're actually around that entry. This has just been some weird movement on NVIDIA. We've also seen a lot of weird IV kind of surges recently. Earnings and then all the economic stuff going on. I'd like to see NVIDIA pull back down into 120, see how it acts there. I may, this is to me, this could just from the action today could kind of solidify a bottom here. I know, Pookie, I want to catch a ride with you. So I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't really consider this necessarily a double bottom, but it's definitely been basing pretty solid. I mean, it reclaimed 115 really well, back above 120 obviously today. Really early in the day, but the way it's moving right now, I mean, I wouldn't surprise to see 123, 125 even. I don't know. Apple's starting to fly. I did see some news on Apple this morning. Let me see if I can find it. Two hours ago, I got a tweet that said NVIDIA 900,000 highly unusual out of the money calls expires in 2 weeks. So someone bought the dip on that for 900 grand. Doing really well right now, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was just a little early to the party. I was buying that first pullback day, kind of sold up in here, thinking we just tapped that gap. Maybe we can recover that quickly. Then once it kind of failed, that's when I started getting out of the rest of that position. But I'm glad I sold most of it up there, close to 130. Just got a little greedy, but I don't even know if I'd call that greed. That big gap up there to me was kind of what the trade was for. I think this could speed up even more. I mean, look, NVIDIA is doing really well today, but look at what SPY is doing and then look at what NQ is doing. So it's hard for me to think it's directly correlated. Like NVIDIA has some sort of perfect news on it because I don't really see anything. But, Amazon kind of looks the exact same. Google's making new highs. Apple's flying here. Things are just popping off here without me. Sometimes this happens. With the worst thing you could do is just kind of randomly chase things because they're going straight up. That just throws risk management out the window. Meta's trying to creep its way back up here. I just think this is trading terribly. If the market has any sort of pullback, this will probably go just straight for its low of the day. Amazon retesting 240. Google's trying to make a new high up here near 205. I wish I could trade that. Don't feel the need to try to force a trade here, guys. That little pullback here in NVIDIA. Let's see if we can hold 120. And they haven't really seen a pullback yet on futures. So if you get a real pullback on that, it could bring things down pretty aggressively. I mean, look, guys. I mean, when things go straight out, this is why I talk about not trying to buy straight into the high of the day. So many people, there's a lot of buying pressure, obviously, right? But it's not super high volume, so there's not a lot of super aggressive buying, right? And then all it takes is a little bit of a push, and the whole the dominoes will fall. You don't want to be caught in something like that. I mean, look at that pullback there on Amazon. That would have hurt. It was over $1 move there. Nvidia still coming down. Tesla just kind of stagnant here. Meta's holding up though. Google doesn't care about this pullback. It's been a weird day. See, Apple is kind of testing 230 here. Tesla's starting to give up. See how Nvidia reacts here at 120. Right, Mastermind. That's what I wanted. If I saw Nvidia under 115 this morning, I'd be grabbing that swing position. But we didn't get it, unfortunately. No, I don't see any important news market wise for the rest of today. Market's starting to bounce. Nvidia's right at support here, so let's see what that does. Just broke 120. Let's see here. Nvidia. 28. Yeah, those February 28th. The IV is just heavy. See, the March 130s are only 600. Market just kind of stalling out here a little bit. I mean, Meta could, but we're almost already an hour into the day. I don't really want to be chasing that. I wanted Meta in the first 15 minutes when there's a lot of volume. I don't know. To me, I just kind of Meta hasn't acted right, so there's no real reason for me to try to trade it. Maybe tomorrow we get. I still think there's a trade there. It's just kind of a matter of when, right? I don't want to try to like force it. I want to wait until it's happening and then I can go capture it. It's tough to predict things right now with, I mean, yesterday was a perfect example. You just don't know what's going to happen with all this stuff Trump's doing. Trump's phone call with China, interesting. Yeah, well, his phone calls end up working in his favor, so that may be good. Bitcoin's just pulling back a little bit. Wow, Kiwi. Yeah, well, I'm sure Elon's favorable of his company for sure. Market trying to bounce here a little bit. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Nice little buy up there off 120. I think her swim is lagging like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Wow, here goes NVIDIA. See high a day, 121.20. I mean, that wasn't a terrible break and retest kind of trade there. Yeah, super inflated. If this stalls out, these NVIDIA contracts will lose value regardless of where it goes. Look at that instant pullback there. Meta is trying, guys. I don't know. I don't really want to trade this late in the day here. Unless volume kicks up a lot, to me, even if this just slowly makes its way back over 700, I'm still not a big fan. I just don't think risk reward is there for me right now. This kind of environment right now is where I rather be a lot more careful and miss things than force them and lose, you know? Swing meta. Well, as long as you have some risk management there. Apple going back for the highs. Yeah, boredom trades will kill you guys. This is where you got to be comfortable sitting on your hands. Even it's even harder when you see things popping off like they are right now. And believe me, I've been in that position where I'm like, I gotta find a trade, right? There's money to be made, but that's typically where there's a much higher chance of you losing rather than just sitting back and letting it do whatever you want. Right? If things are coming, to my criteria and going toward my plan, then there's just no trade. NVIDIA is February 26, I believe. Still got some time on that. So did you pick those contracts because that was earnings week, or you just kind of simply just like that because of the amount of time? Because those are the ones I was in as well, and IV was going up with them, so it was holding value. But I don't know that I want to buy that expiration now. Yeah, very true. Netflix held 1,000, trying to go back for its high of the day. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, guys, we're almost at that hour mark, so I'll still stick around for a couple more minutes. But is there any last minute questions or any other tickers you would like me to go over? It's kind of a weird day. I'm totally fine with that tiny loss. It's honestly the only kind of losses I would want to take. One in general, but two on a day like today. Just giving things no room to run you over. Yeah, Meta looks tempting, but I mean, again, there's no volume there. The volume's just gone. So, for you to take that trade, you're gonna have to really let it move slow. And even then, right, market's way up in the air. Meta did not follow. If the overall market has, even just like a 25% pullback, Meta could go straight back to, 695. So to me personally, it's not a super high odds trade right now. I rather just sit back. Who cares what it does, right? And we wait for tomorrow. If it comes back to this, if it's still here tomorrow morning, maybe that's the day. Maybe we catch it tomorrow. But this late in the day, and with how it moved the first hour, it's not great. We're back above 700 though. We just popped that. Meta's really gonna try, huh? Be smart, guys. Be smart. While Amazon popped off too. Nvidia is kind of interesting. It's just stalling out right here at 120. Google made new all-time highs ahead of earnings. Let's see. High of the day here on this is 702.50. I'll stick around a little bit longer and watch this. It's trying here. I don't know that I can signal this. Yeah, Meta is just not cooperating this morning, is it? Could easily see this pull back like 697 though. Yeah, all-time high is right up there, 710, 711. But typically volume starts to die out after that first hour, and we're right there. So let's be smart. Futures are kind of stalling out at their high of the day here. So if SPY comes back and breaks under 600, all these things that are way up in the air could pull back. So you don't want to be too exposed to that. You could see a lot of things end up pulling back. So be smart. Please be smart. Meta's trying to be one of the stronger names here. Market's starting to fold over. See how Meta reacts to that. Apple had some sort of, well, yeah, probably that too, Mastermind, but Apple had some sort of like revenue news, I think, this morning. I don't know. I saw some sort of positive piece of news that I would think would come out on their earnings, but I don't know. SPY trying to come back for 600. This is where you want to be careful. Tesla coming in for low of the day. Quick pullbacks here in a lot. Market, futures got tired. So these stocks that weren't super strong on their own could get hurt. Let me look at Tesla real quick. Yesterday's low is 75, so that's a little too far for me. Look at Meta here. Just when that started to look good. Look at this buying pressure here on Meta, guys. That's really interesting. Market bounced straight back up. Meta does not seem to care. I'm not going to be happy with this if it just starts ripping, but sometimes Meta just does this. SPY and NQ trying to go for their high of the day. Meta's high of the day is 702.50, so we're about $1 away. Futures are kind of rejecting at their highs. If futures and stuff break out through their high of the day, I mean, Meta has a chance, but to me, this just isn't that enticing. The last thing I'd want to do here is lose money trying to force this late in the day. But it's trying here. About 20 cents away from its high of the day. Futures pulled back a little bit there. Could just be a double top. I don't know. I'm not really interested in this, guys, at all. And Uber. Look at that. Straight back to 700. Low volume. The spread is pretty wide on Meta. If the overall market can kind of break for its high of the day, maybe it could be interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it might be worth a try for sure. I would like to see futures break out with this. If that all kind of lines up, I mean, this could just make a move for 705, right? And that could be pretty solid. But I don't know. I would hate to lose money trying to force this late in the day. Pre-market high is 704.98 as well. So I mean, obviously that 705 level is going to be what you want to see it taken out. But looking at SPY and NQ, guys, they're really, really flat. So until those can make a move, I think this is probably going to just get stuck here. And if it gets stuck for too long and then futures roll over, I mean, this could quickly go back to 698, in one or two candles. So be smart if you do end up taking this. I don't know that I can signal this trade. I don't even know if I'm going to take it, to be honest with you. You want to see futures break out here. All right, new high of the day. Definitely need to see volume really start pouring into that. You want to see this go quickly. There it goes. Wow. I'd want to see this go straight for 705 here. Futures did not pop with that just yet. You want to see a high day on futures. This may just have a late day run. I don't know. Bids getting above 703. You want to see 705 get taken out. There is a wall at 705. Seven oh three, 90, 95, 96, 97, 704 on the ask, just broke. 704.20. I'm in a tiny position, just to be clear. I'm just gonna kind of walk through this. It's very insignificant. Only one contract here. Just trying to be smart with this. 704.30. Futures did make a new high. So that was kind of what I was banking on. If I saw, futures rip new high before my entry, that would have been that would have wanted me. Yeah, I would have wanted to get in that for sure. But to me, this just wasn't a very safe trade by any means. You want to see 705 get taken out here. I don't want to see any sort of pullback beforehand. I may just get out of this, honestly. $7 a contract. About a 10% trade there. Want to see follow through with this quickly here. Market did pull back a little bit. $702 will be my stop for this contract. Other than that, looking for 705. $704. Ask is above 704. I want to see that bid get above. This is a good time for y'all to kind of practice watching that. The ask is above, but the bid is not. You want to see that bid start popping up. That's where it'll start speeding up. 703.69 on the bid now. 92, 90. There we go. The bid's at 704. Back under. Back at it. Want to see it get above that. It's hitting 704 on the dot. It's holding up pretty well here, but the market is still pushing, so I'm a little iffy on this. I may just cut it. 725 a contract. It's just not moving nearly as fast as I would want to see it. Those first two candles are great, but I don't know. Sometimes meta can be slow. So I'm going to switch down to a 2-minute chart and just kind of chill in this. I have break even stop in place hard with the limit just to be safe on that. I don't want to lose any money on this trade. I have a 649 fill on that. I think I could probably get 750 out of this contract, maybe even 775 if we can see a new high. Just that 705 level, guys, is going to be where you want to see things go. But if it rejects here, it's going to reject. The market is starting to roll over as well. So to me, that's not a great sign. Oh, wow, look at that. Quick move back over 704. I'm starting to like it. Here we go. Here we go. Selling right on this break. I'm out. There you go. And my losses are all back. Just that trade. 795. I got $8 a fill on that. I know there was an entry signal there. That was just really, really risky there, guys. But for anyone that did catch that, the trade I did ended up working out later in the morning. I just did not feel comfortable signaling something like that. Just kind of a bigger opening range break. Market's rolling over. This is rejecting 705. This is an easy spot for this to get taken right back down. But that was the second highest volume candle of the day, which to me is a positive. But it needs to, ideally, this candle can close above 705 for continuation if anyone is planning on holding that. But I'm out. Market's rolling over. This could reject a 702 and, one candle here if it really wants to. I think you could see one more new high in it, though, as long as the futures don't pull back too hard. I can't believe Netflix did that today. Wow. Nvidia's pulling back. Might see a new high here on Meta. I don't think we closed. We closed that candle at 704.99. We switch down to a 1-minute chart to watch this. Yeah, they closed at 704.99. Sometimes there's actually a lot of importance in where the candles can close, especially when you're at a level like that. We're still holding above pre-market high here on the ask. So once again, you want to see that bid get above 705. It's got a snow alert, 189.59. Is that popping off? Ask is still pushing up on this. Once that bid gets above 705, I think you're going to see a new high. There it is. Bid's above. Ask is still pushing. Here you go. 1 cent off on the ask. Taking too long here. Market pulling back. Meta's just acting weird to me. It's getting bought up off 704, but we're seeing NQ and SPY, like I keep saying, pulling back here. I haven't really seen a balance on any of these yet. It gave up 704. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm probably going to wrap things up here. Let's see. What's the next event going on? It was a good sell. I think I got just about peak there, $8 a contract. Next event, PBUG's meeting is at 2 o'clock Eastern times, and then we have spread live trading at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Look at that pullback. Wow. It's a perfect sell on that. I'll take it. That got me back just barely green. It's a break even on the day. I'm fine with that on a day like today. I'm going to keep an eye on NVIDIA for the rest of the day, guys. If I can see this come down back to, 118.50, 118, I may pick up a swing there, get back in that trade. But other than that, I'm probably done. So if there's any questions, ask away. If not, I'm going to head out for the rest of the day. But I'll be watching the chats if anyone needs me. All right, y'all. Well, thank you. Y'all have a good rest of the day. And let's see. I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for the free lesson. Other than that, I'm out. Have a good day. Bye-bye.